I think I went to the Kiowee power plant. Was fat in a field trip one time, and of course, you go through their museum, and they're like, "This banana has more radiation than our reactor." And it's like, that can't be true.
It's like the tour guide has 7 fingers on that hand.
That'd be great if they had a burn victim as the tour guide.
Why don't we put a bunch of nuclear power plants in Canada?
Make it unrelated.
Yeah, unrelated.
That would be hilarious if they got like an elephant man to do the tour.
Or just gave him he's got a third arm coming out of his back all haphazardly.
That really cheery motivational speaker from Australia with no limbs. They'd wheel him around and he tells you. You didn't know about this guy?
No.
Yeah, he can somehow swim, or maybe those videos are cut quickly.
Wait, is his name Giorgio or something? No.
Yeah.
I don't think so, but he's absolutely a guy. This is not a dream.
Arms. I watched the swimmer with no arms. He's fucking badass. He was,
but he had legs.
He did have legs. He swam like a dolphin. He didn't breathe for 50 meters. He just held his breath and swam underwater the whole time.
Oh, apparently.
Yeah, his name's Nick Vujicic from Australia. He has
How did he lose the arms?
Born without arms and born without legs. Yeah, he's jumping in the pool.
Show me a picture of this guy. I got to see what he looks like. Does he look like a tadpole or something?
He's not very mobile looking.
You don't think?
Does he look like what are those whales at the Atlanta aquarium, Woody, that look like they've got hips?
Beluga.
Beluga. Is he like shaped like a beluga whale?
I want to see this.
What is this?
You look at the beluga whale from the right angle. It's kind of sexy.
Why is this on LinkedIn?
Dude, it's good looking too. Look at him there with his fucking jean shorts on.
Now, depending on whether or not this video, if you play it, shows him going down or up, would change my opinion of his swimming.
Definitely down.
But look at how calm the person behind him is. Like, he's done this before. He's swimming.
Dude, it's a missed opportunity that his name is Nick. Like, this floating guy with no arms and no legs should be named Bob.
100%. Bob. Yeah, but look, he's in a good mood. He's always talking, or at least
I bet his Halloween costumes are great.
Is that a hint of a foot?
He's got a little thing down there.
He's got a little helper foot.
That's how he got that. No wonder he's got 3 or 4 kids. Look at that hog.
Yeah. He's got 4 kids.
You think his
4 kids?
You think his lady? You think
he puts
that in her? You think he gets her with that little baby foot?
I bet this. Look at that face. That guy does whatever he pleases.
She better be into that. So
yeah.
She's the only one with that opportunity, really.
I'm glad that some people are able to find.
What if you itch?
Happiness? Man, I'd itch my way over to drowning myself in that pool if this happened to me. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Not if you have his skills. He couldn't drown if he wanted to.
Oh, I'd figure it out. I'd put my head in that fucking that round filter pot and just go upside down in there. Look at this guy. Oh,
is that the guy I was talking about? Giorgio or something?
Now this guy looks like he had arms because it looks like there's a scar or something there. Whereas the other guy, OG, no arm kind of guy.
What the fuck?
Zhang Tao. No, that's not the guy I was thinking of.
Okay, I want to see how far he's kicked himself out of the water here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how far out of the water is this guy?
He probably has 2 legs to get that high.
No limb athletes.
When I swam in college, one of the other teams had a dude with 1 leg, and he sucked.
Yeah.
He was always swimming in circles out there.
He's coming into your lane. Okay.
Out of my lane.
Obviously, this guy can swim. He has legs.
Well, I mean, still, though, he doesn't have funny fucking arms.
Neither do fish.
Yeah, that's true. Are
fish
you
have gills?
Are you a competent, good swimmer, Kyle?
No, I can keep myself alive. I don't think I would drown unless the waters were like pretty choppy. But if it got anything more than that, I would go down. I think that I can. Not a good swimmer.
So you don't know like the strokes. You couldn't do
I know them.
Freestyle, backstroke.
Knowing them and doing them is another thing. Doing them well is another thing. It's just I know them, but I'm not a good swimmer now.
Okay. I part of me still thinks when I hear like an adult say like, I don't know how to swim, part of me is like, just get in the water and it'll just happen. Like just intuitively, like how, like move in the water And then Woody, as a lifeguard, is like, no, obviously not. You fucking retard.
I
They'll
tell people
drown."
to swim. It's not natural for humans at all.
It seems so easy. Maybe it's because I did swim lessons as a kid.
It's bizarre that they don't just get horizontal. They're sort of bobbing up and down and sort of like trying to pull themselves out
and grasp at it with wide fingers.
Oh, it's weird watching someone drown like that. I think I saw a news story where like a kid fell in a pool and 2 adults drowned trying to save the kid in the pool.
What?
That's what the fuck? No one was paying attention.
Recently.
How big was this pool? No one.
I wish I was there. That would be like no big deal. Saving a child.
Triple kill.
This is like,
yeah, you'd have to save the 2 adults who went in.
That's not hard either. Like it's
Woody could have his nachos in his other hand while he's doing this.
I really do think if you're like Woody, save all 3 of them, hold a brick in one hand, I'd be okay.
Yeah. I don't think I could save them. I think I could get the kid out of there, but I'm not going in for an adult anyway.
Yeah, it's against your principles. Should have learned to swim.
Not for it better be a hot adult.
Sink or swim
right now. If it's some like fat dude that fell in, is like
right. But if he's hot, you're there.
Yeah, if like John Stamos fell in,
I'm glad you went with.
He cracks his head on the fucking on the step on the way in. I'm like, holy shit, that's the guy from Full House. Gotta get him out of there. Yeah.
Did you guys have when you would swim in pools or whatever as a kid? Obviously, there were those pictures of the people breaking their neck from diving.
Oh yeah.
Was there I never knew anyone who that happened to, and I'm realizing now I think adults might have been fibbing to me about like local kids getting paralyzed from it. There's what you would know is that's not super common, right? Like,
not that I know of. But
you mean diving in, hitting like into a shallow?
I feel like hitting the bottom and getting a scrape is super common. Hitting the bottom and getting a neck injury, I've never seen it.
Yeah, that was like a mythos. Like a tooth fairy level thing. Like when I'd go swimming, like parents would like, don't you dive in there. Remember what happened to little Timmy Smith up the road? And it's like, Timmy Smith, I never heard of him. And they're like, and you never will again because he's paralyzed giving motivational speeches in Australia.
Every swimmer is a competitive swimmer who's dove into a pool 1,000, 2,000, 6,000 times has hit their face on the bottom at one point. I had a teammate. He was really good. He was All-American. And he would always do this thing at the start of every practice where he jumped up abnormally high and then he went straight down. And the water was like 3.5 feet deep. And he was always fine.
That it's just trying to loosen himself up.
I think he was showing off. It was a thing that he was good at. And if you looked at it, you'd be like, that has to be dangerous, right? Everyone jumped in the shallow end, but we would take a shallow dive.
Yeah.
This guy went straight down like a pencil, and then underwater he would just curve it up and save it.
I'm gonna swim more this summer. That sounds fun.
My pool opens tomorrow. Well, kind of. It takes a while for the water to get clean, but tomorrow the guys come in.
A lot of kids would jump off into the rock quarries when I was a kid. There's lots of, especially in Elberton, Georgia, there's just tons of these quarries, and basically it's a square hole underneath the dirt. Surprise, surprise. And you're just on top of a giant cap of granite that encompasses the entire county. So you can cut square holes into the ground that is just rock. It's just rock down there, just solid and deep. So
but super deep, right? Like too deep for a human to touch, maybe?
What do you mean touch?
Like if you try to swim to the bottom and come back with a rock.
Oh, who even fucking knows? Because what they'll do is they're mining essentially in these quarries, and the sides of the quarry have these square holes, and it's a huge hole in the ground, and then it's full of water. I went to a place that there's a skeet shooting place, sporting clay place in Elberton where they utilize rock quarries. So they'll throw the skeet out over the rock quarries, and you'll shoot them out there, and it's cool because the shot will hit the opposite side and you can see it hit the rock. And because the skeet always hits the rock in the same place. So it's just stained the rock orange because about millions of them have fucking hit that rock. But the bottom is God knows. You don't know. Maybe it's 50, 60, 70, 150. You don't know. So they would, kids around here have always set up these giant rope swings and cable pulley swings. They'd sometimes utilize some of the leftover cranes and stuff like that. And I remember my dad growing up told a story about his brother-in-law was standing there while people were doing the swing. And the way it worked, you swung out, you let go, do a flip, land in the water.
Oh yeah.
And then there's a a string tied to the cable. You swing out on a cable, but there's a string tied to the cable, so we can retrieve the cable so the next person can go. Well, my dad's brother-in-law is literally just an idiot, like probably special, and he's standing like a cartoon character in the coil of rope. Like, we're here to do the thing. Like, don't imagine that he's like having a beer by a campfire way over there. We're all here on a ledge.
He's standing like Wile E. Coyote on the edge of the cliff.
He is Wile E. Coyoteing, standing in the Elmer Fudd. And so the next person goes and it's brick mason cord. If you're not familiar with this, very strong, very thin string. It's like super fishing line maybe, but it is string, nylon. Wraps around his foot, drags him out upside down over the fucking quarry while the other person is swinging along too, and he dangles as the thing slices and cuts through his fucking foot in like 8 different places. And they're so poor back then. Dad's like, grandmama was putting tomatoes and potatoes and roots and poultices and they was spitting tobacco juice on it.
A little piston.
Like, wouldn't you know it got real infected?
That's what I was like, did that worked? He's like, near about fell off. Thought he was gonna lose a goddamn foot.
About plumb fell off.
About plumb fell off.
Oh, that's so funny. Dude, my grandpa and your dad would just thick as thieves. They would get along so well. The way you say he phrases and talks about things, it's a country farmer Southern thing. They have that archetype.
Dad's watched too many Coen Brothers movies, so he likes that old timey, silly, like I don't know, dialogue. So he's silly the way he does that stuff. He loves "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?" and what's the other one? When Nicholas
Buster Scrub.
Raising Arizona. If you've never seen Raising Arizona, not you, Taylor.
I would bet my life my grandpa hasn't seen any of those movies. This is just the way he talks. Yeah. Damn. So did you ever leap into the quarry?
Fuck no. Because
never.
No, I don't think I was ever invited, if I'm being 100% honest. But I also remember my cousin saying that I swear this happened. He dreamt, my dad told him, he's like, hey, you shouldn't be doing that. That's dangerous. You know, when I was growing up, kids would get hurt, and your Uncle Porty fucking like nearly lost his foot one time.
Your Uncle Lefty.
Doing that shit. Yeah. Uncle
lost an arm.
And so Scott said he had a dream that he drowned. Like, they'd been going every weekend and spending the whole weekend up there jumping, like doing backflips and shit. But he dreamt that he drowned, so he didn't go. And the day he didn't go, his buddy drowned. Like, buddy jumps in, hit something under the water, and didn't come up. Like, died.
The Reaper needed a soul. It would have been him.
But I don't know. Maybe that's the scary part.
His friend
Some
would
of
have
them
died if he was there for him.
Oh, that's what I said. That's what I said at the funeral too. I hated that. I hated that.
Eulogy.
It's could have been prevented.
Here lies Travis. It's Scott's fault.
Yeah.
He always called Scott his guardian angel.
the one day he wasn't there.
I've done not a quarry jump, but I've done stuff like that in the Ozarks, like off the like rocky outcrops over it, especially with the ropes. And sometimes you'll be doing it like if you drive through the Ozarks, there will be like the local spots that you're passing on the way to like where the people who live in Kansas City or St. Louis or whatever go and swim. And they will be like the oldest, ricketiest ropes as these like locals are swinging out. And some of them are like fat as shit swinging out over this, and the rope holds. And so that but you see that and you're like, that's a matter of time. Someone's gonna, there's a bunch of jagged rocks that if you were to fall 15 feet, prematurely in your swing, you're gonna break your legs or break
I think
your
that
neck.
an athletic person can fall just much better. Like I think that if
that's true. And a lot of these people are drunk, and I think you're better at falling if you're drunk.
Oh.
I think you're better at having a car accident if you're drunk. But I think that if
they're
you
outstanding at it, they get most of them.
Yeah, if
running up the score,
they're loosey goosey. They're not posting up on that wheel. But I think if you're gonna like fall down an embankment, you want to have your wits about you so you can maybe not snap your knees backwards or like post up, like I
Dude.
said. And
Yeah, maybe. I guess I just heard someone
So
say
I do
that
a lot of
about
sports where
falling.
people fall, whether it be paramotoring, paragliding, acrobatic paragliding, or motorcycling. People fall, dirt biking. And there is a giant correlation between how athletic they are and how often they get hurt. Like the athletes, they just bounce better, man. Part of it's because they're lighter. They just, if you weigh 150, falling's not as big a deal as if you weigh 250. Boom.
Oh, yeah.
But also, I don't know, like muscles help a little bit, and just being fit and athletic.
Yeah, your tendons and the connective tissues are all like tougher, stronger, better if you're working out.
Maybe you're
everything's getting
making
stronger.
good, fast decisions during the fall too.
Yeah.
That somebody else isn't. I'm not sure.
You can see that it's like with ice skating. Like there were times where like for school events or whatever, we'd all go ice skating or something, and someone who knows what they're doing, like they fall and they know to like try and land on their hip, their quad, like take some of the pressure off in the soft area. Don't stick your hand out like this and break your wrist like an idiot. And then sometimes you'd see someone fall who clearly had never skated before, and they do like a Three Stooges, like whoop whoop whoop, where their feet start coming out and they just tumble backwards, hit their head, and it's like, oh, that could have been catastrophic. We could have watched that woman die right just now in the middle of our field trip and not gotten to go to the taco or the hot dog stand.
Motorcycle parallels on that. Like I watch these people who are very good at YouTube, and there's two motorcycle disciplines called hard enduro and trials, and both of them are real slow speed things where they're climbing on like, I don't know, sewage pipes that are 6 feet tall, rocks that are 4 feet tall, the sort of thing where you're doing a wheelie stationary and then you like hop onto the next rock, if you can imagine.
Acrobatic. Yeah, like Trials the game, the video game back.
Okay. So these guys do that, and when they fall, it's amazing to me because they manage to do it. Like they see the fall coming, they decide that it's time to bail, and then they let themselves and their motorcycles down and nothing's damaged. Meanwhile, like I'll be on like a trail where to the right, if I fall, it's 3 feet lower, and to the left, if it's 3 feet higher, and I'm just, the closest I can come is try to fall to the high side. Like, let's err on the high side, because if I fall with a 3 feet drop, I'm kind of fucked. I'm not that good at it. Like I'll look like a non-athlete when I fall to the low side. And other people are just amazing.
Have you ever played sports with someone who's like direly unathletic?
Yes.
I hate
funny. It. Oh, I've told this story before. In college, I got thrown out of the dorms, and I had to like quick scurry, and I got this this woman was renting out extra bedrooms to help her pay rent. Well, one of the other persons who rented a different bedroom, wild loser, like crazy social anxiety. He would have like he got like straight A's, but he was always trying to and he had no friends, and he couldn't exist in like any crowds. Yeah, committing was like a twice a week thing for him, and
he really sucked at it.
He was terrible at everything except for school, which I envied. But anyway, I was like, this poor guy, like he doesn't have any friends. I'm gonna play frisbee with him. Huge fucking mistake, right? Like I throw the frisbee at him, practically hit him in the fucking nose, and he doesn't catch it. Okay, whatever. He picks it up. He throws it to me. He's off by 90 degrees. And I'm like, am I supposed to get that? Like I'm closer to it? It's closer to you. Yeah. You don't get that. Like, but no, I didn't. I ran and I got it, and I threw it from there. And I'm just like running to wherever he's randomly throwing this thing. It's like, you are not athletic enough to be my friend. I'm bailing.
This fucking loser. He's this idiot. Maybe he got better at tying knots, and he's out of here.
His attempts. Like I know I've told some of these stories before, but like one time he took pills, and like, so I like call 911. We get the EMTs there. He calls his mom, and he's like, "Mom, I've done it. It's over now. I'm going to die. I just wanted to call you and say goodbye." And it's like, Jesus Christ, you're going to be fine. And he was. There was another time I just heard banging from his room. And he had this little plastic first aid kit that he was banging on a mirror. And he later told me that he was hoping the mirror would break and slice his jugular.
What?
This is this is not a valid
Yeah, this guy was seeking attention in all the wrong ways. He should have tried being better at sports. Loser.
He was in a lot of pain.
What race was he?
He's a white guy. Ugly white guy, but thin.
Ugly too.
yeah, he was.
Just irredeemable. Fucking loser. Couldn't tie knots. Couldn't find hated elevators. Just couldn't get to the top of a building to save his life.
Like there was a kid on our base.
Okay.
I was trying to think of like the most unathletic person I've ever played sports with. And it was this kid in Little League, and he was just slow. Like not witted. He's a perfectly intelligent person, but it just seemed like he was slow. Like in everything he did. It was like he moved at 0.8 speed. Sort of like if you said, "Hey Bob," that's not his name. But he went, "Hey Bob," he'd go, "What?" And he was just so slow to react. And it was, why was Bob on third base? I can't tell you. But I remember Dad, like, that it's practice, and Dad's hitting. He's got an aluminum baseball bat in one hand, and he's tossing up a ball, and he's hitting it to people to make them
baseball
field.
or T-ball?
Baseball.
Oh, okay.
We're like 13. We can throw. And so he hits it to this big black kid that was playing shortstop, Octavius. Octavius grabs that shit, and he was so close to third base, but he turned and he launched it at Bob over third base, and Bob never got his hands up. He just ate it in the mouth, just ate the baseball right into his braces, and like cuts his lips all the fuck up from the braces, and he's crying, and the EMTs are giving him oxygen.
EMTs?
Like, well, yeah, they're always there at the ballpark. The ballpark has like there's like 4 or 5 games going on simultaneously at the ballpark. So kids get hurt all the time. There's always EMTs there. But it's like, I've never seen anybody not get their hands up. It's baseball. It's like what you're there to do. Like it's what you're there to do.
You should have been expecting a throw.
Yeah.
Right? Like I can imagine a world where you're caught by surprise. You know, you're gaming, someone to your right is like, "Hey Kyle."
I thought it'd be safe in line at the bank.
I mean, like it's like if you're playing goalie, Taylor, and someone like hits a medium one at you, intending for you to catch it. You know what I mean? Like that's the person throwing the thing wants you to catch it. It's not the opposite. So it's just, you don't drop many. And if you're dropping more than one like a day, there's something.
You got to play outfield or something, right? You got to move you out of there.
It's important to catch him back there too. He was so slow he couldn't do anything. It was
there
pitiful.
a position where it's less important to catch?
Isn't right field the easiest one because people tend not to hit it there as much?
Most hitters are right-handed, so they're not going to hit it to right field most of the time. So yeah, there's probably doing the least amount of fielding out in right field. But everybody needs to catch, unless you're a pinch hitter.
Yeah, that's such a big part of baseball.
Pinch hitter. Okay. But you probably have to hit.
Yeah, he
only hit. That's all you do. Or designated hitter as well.
Where could a guy who doesn't hit well or catcher throw well play?
Coach or umpire.
Coach. Those
you can coach, you can umpire, and guys that can't catch, throw, or count have to be coaches, and guys that don't know anything about the game, I guess, end up being the umpires. There's a couple of umpires that are like, there's a whole YouTube series made about how bad they are. And I think all major sports are fixed. I can't.
As my vision deteriorates, I think I'm getting more qualified to be an ump.